Guess who's dead and gone? Guess. The old me. The old me is dead and gone. I don't have no more room in my life to hold on to what the old me used to do, what the old me used to accept. I don't have time to accept any of that. I don't have time to consume how it works or how it worked. I just know that person back then that was a people pleaser is no longer here. Dead and gone. She is dead and gone. And she is not coming back. Definitely not coming back. It took so much for me to accept that everyone is not for me and I'm not for everyone. And I really, appreciate having that wisdom because it has saved me so much time and so much feelings being hurt and so much, freedom. And it feels good to be able to say no. It feels good to be able to refuse to deal with things that don't serve me, people that don't serve me. I'm not in nothing dream-wise that is meant to take away from anybody. Everything that I dream to do is to help, support, and serve others. That's what I'm all about. So anybody and everything that I allow to have access to me need to be a direct reflection of what I'm attempting to achieve in life. And if those things don't line up when it comes to a person or a thing, I actually sit and think about it for a moment. Is it worth the time and effort? Is it worth the time and attention to do that? No, it's not. Because with those type of things that you can possibly give time and attention to, it's so much work. It becomes so much more of a hassle versus what? I don't even know what word to use there. But I think I could just probably say a hassle versus easy going. Does that make sense? Either way, I'm so much more obsessed with aligning with things that are gonna fuel me to be better. That's gonna fuel me to grow stronger and wiser. Like, those are the only things that I'm concerned with. And I'm okay, for the most part, dealing with losing certain things and losing certain people if it doesn't go with that. So I have no regrets as to the journey that I've taken with certain things that have happened that weren't so good. I have no regrets in those things happening now that they are very much something I consider and think about, like, damn, I could have been in so many different unpleasant situations right now had I not came to my senses and be like, no, this doesn't work. Or God forced me to see that this is not gonna work, It's like, at some point, you're almost like choosing to break your own heart. That's what it feels like. So when you stop choosing that shit, it's so much more freeing. And that's exactly where I want to be. I want to be living my life with the most freest of all freest freedom, if that makes sense. And with freedom comes peace. And that's what I'm so much more obsessed with having. Peace in my mind, peace in my heart, peace in my soul, peace in my whole aura, my whole being of existence. I need all that. I need all that and more that even fuels that. Because any other way besides that, it's just so heavy. It's just so it's like a ball and chain. It really is. It's like a ball and chain that you cannot let go of. Like, who wants to be tied down to complicated things, complicated people, complicated situations? Who wants to do that? Who wants to willingly choose to be in a position where something is not serving you, something is causing you pain, something is causing you trouble, something is causing you to drown? Why would you want that? Like, you choose to break your own heart when you decide that you're not gonna let go of these things because of how long you maybe know somebody, or how much you believed that it was gonna be something. Like, you choose to break your own heart at the end of the day when you're still allowing these things to affect your sense of calm, your sense of peace, your sense of self-love and care. Like, you're choosing to break your own heart. That's what it is. You're either gonna choose to break your own heart or nurture your heart. That's it. That's it. And you know, it wasn't always easy to come to that conclusion. It wasn't. Like, that's not how it works. It's not supposed to be easy to come to certain conclusions when it's just like, but what if? But I know it could. Like, no, you're creating this story in your head. You're creating the idea in your head that it can be like that. But sometimes it's just not meant to be like that, especially if it's a person. If they're not even trying their best to understand where you're coming from when it comes to certain things that you might not be comfortable with, but because of who they are, you know, you're considering it. You know, it's okay to consider it, but to actually follow through with it and allow it to affect you in a bad way, you're choosing to break your own heart. It's in your control. That's the thing. It's in your control. You know, it's so much more easier said than done. And it took me a good couple of years, like several couple of years, to come to this point right now. Because, you know, I'm so much more aware of my feelings. I'm so much more aware of my energy. I'm so much more aware of who I am that, you know, it's amazing to me, because I've never imagined before back then that I'd not be the person that I was then. I didn't imagine me not being who that Fiona was. I wasn't thinking about that. All I was thinking about, like, I need to help. I need to save someone. I need to save the situation. I need to do what I can to figure it out. It's just like, no, you're working too hard to break your own heart. After I finished choosing things that breaks my heart, hurts my feelings, crushes my spirit, it just feels so much more better to just be like, no, this doesn't work. Do you see how much heartache this is causing? Do you see how much time and effort you have to put into this just to appease someone else? Is it really worth that? Is it worth your suffering? Is it worth you going above and beyond for something or someone that does not go above and beyond for their self? Because if they're not doing it for their self, you cannot, and I mean you can absolutely not, expect them to do it for you. So you're choosing to break your own heart. And I'm about to be 40. I'm about to be 40 years old. And I can honestly say that I am totally comfortable with who I am. I am totally secure in who I am. And that mainly came from understanding and knowing that God is the main force in my life that allows me to do all this shit, you know? And I'm pretty sure God did not intend for us to allow other people and other things to hinder us from growing in a healthy space, flourishing mentally, nurturing your heart. I'm pretty sure God did not intend for anyone to live a life of appeasing others or investing time and attention in things or people that aren't doing it for themselves. At the end of the day, if you're choosing to allow people and things to navigate you into things that you don't necessarily feel good and comfortable about, you're choosing to break your own heart. That's what it is. You're choosing to break your own heart. And when you're tired of that, when you're really tired of that, that's when the light bulb goes off. Like, it would be so simple if I just walk away or just say no. It'll be simple. It won't be easy, but it will be simple. So stop choosing to break your own heart, okay?